I don't know who cut them boards, but they must have cut them with like a chainsaw or something, because they definitely ain't the same thickness all the way down. everything planed down to 3/4 of an inch. My next step's gonna be to run it through the table saw, so we're gonna get at it, start running it through the table saw. 36-inch piece that I needed to make out of that 38-inch piece. As I said at the beginning of the video, whenever I was on the miter saw, I decided to, I cut a 38-inch board that was wide enough to compensate for two 3-inch boards. It was a little over 6 inches, just a tad over 6. So I was able to make that 36-inch board that I needed out of that one. I just wasted, just a little 2-inch piece is all, which is what I cut off here. So now I'm gonna go ahead and start cutting the 1 3/4 inch pieces out of the material that I have sitting over here. So I just have to get my table saw set up for an 1 3/4 inch cut. This is that little piece I wasted off of that one 38-inch board. I don't think that's too bad. Alright, so I think I think I'm supposed to get 3 out of this one. I already cleaned everything. So. Anyway, off we go. ready to start routing. I made this little template block right here for various bits that I have for the router table. This is the particular bit that I'm using. So basically what I like to do is just take and put this up against the fence like so, and just kind of go along here and see if it matches up real well without messing up my bit, you know. So if it goes along there without really snagging on anything, then it's pretty good. You can also go over here and take and find your cutters on your router bit, bring it out perpendicular to the fence, and then take and see if it lines up well. Most of the time these blades on your router bit will nick, you know, the template. But as long as you get down kind of eye level with it and the profile matches, then you're good to go. And right now it's matching really well. I didn't think I moved that bit since the last time I used it. I just wanted to double check and make sure before I ran an actual piece through. So, but yeah, basically it's just a square block like this. This is out of cedar, just a little scrap piece I had left over. This is the template for that bit that I'm using right now, which, there you go. So that's the template that I'm using right now. And this right here is for a cabinet. It's like for the door of the cabinet. Has an undercut to it. This right here is for either a tongue or groove, I'm not sure. One of the two. And this is for a round over bit. And then we have, well, that's where I got a little bit confused. This is actually a tongue here, so the other one was a groove. This piece right here, I just kind of went over the top of that tongue, you know, just because I couldn't find another scrap piece to really use that was 3/4 inches in thickness. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and start doing some routing. Hopefully, I don't mess anything up, and then I have to go back to square one again. So, see, that's kind of the thing that you got to deal with whenever you're, you know, making your own custom trim. But in the end, you know, you get to look at your work. You know, it's not something you bought from, you know, big box store or whatever. And plus, this is cedar, Eastern red cedar. You can make it out of any lumber that you want to. You know, you're not limited as far as that goes. And you know, you don't have to rely on shipping and everything getting damaged via shipping and, you know, things like that. So, you know, so it's a good thing. You know, you basically build it in the house and you put it in the house. You know, so. All right. So, I want to make sure, because I have one set of boards that are supposed to be used for round over molding only, which is for the seal. I want to make sure that I have those separate from everything else, because everything else is going to be molding, you know, which is going to use this bit. So let me go double check that. All right, we're good. The 36-inch pieces here, those are what goes over the top of the window and joins in with the molding that's going to be on the side. We've got a 3-inch overlap on both sides, so the 3-inch molding that comes up, you know, meets with the upper side evenly. And then down on the very bottom, I have a 38-inch piece of round over molding that I'm putting on. So I want everything to kind of overhang both sides about 1 inch. So that's why it's 38 inches. Okay, so without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started.